Welcome in here, ladies and gentlemen. Publicly Buzzed live on a Tuesday night. Got a little bit of a chill night here tonight, coming off of a murder church, off of one of the Manson family members. Thought I would do an actual Charles Manson interview tonight. We haven't ever done anything like that on the channel, so be interesting. If you've never seen a Charles Manson interview, this one will be interesting for you as well. This is also done by a female reporter, and you got to get to see how he interacts with a female reporter. Her name is Penny Daniels. We'll get a little bit more information about her, a little bit more information about what's going on here. Thank you guys for being here, and we're going to get into it shortly.
Let's rock.
Little and gentlemen, welcome in here. What is going on? Nest Cam. You can see my sloths on my pants here, on my sleep pants. You see the little sloths? Little sloths? What's going on? Also representing JBN, baby. Jabo Nation for life. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in here. Today we're watching a Charles Manson interview. If you've never seen a Charles Manson interview before, well, you're in for a treat because they're wacky. They're pretty crazy. This one's interesting because it's done with a female reporter. Her name is Penny Daniels. This is from, again, 1989. Again, done in the San Quentin prison, which is pretty much where I'm pretty sure the entire time of Charles Manson's duration before he passed away, which ended up being in a hospital, but was spent in San Quentin prison. Look through here just real quick. Yeah, I looked a little bit more information up on Penny Daniels. She doesn't seem to be working currently, at least on television. She's still in, looks like right here it says she's a speechwriter, an author, a communications coach, but in the 80s and the 90s, she was actually sort of like a television personality. And then she actually ended up on national television in the 90s and worked on, what was the show here? There was another show she worked on that was actually, it ended up getting a current affair. I remember hearing about that when I was growing up. It ended up getting canceled in 1996, but she was the last host of that. And then during this time when she worked for her local station, I believe this is out of Miami, Florida, she was also, this current interview with Charles Manson was, I'm guessing, probably, it's even listed here in her, her credentials, was a huge moment for her. And I'm not exactly sure how they landed this interview. And at the very beginning of the interview, you'll kind of see even Charles Manson a little bit. He's asking some questions here. So I'm not exactly sure what happened before everything was getting lined up. How many more other people Charles Manson talks to and is talking with, because he's talking about, you're not a French man. And obviously it's not a French man because it's a lady. But welcome in here, everybody. What's going on? We're about to jump in here. I just want to see in the chat real quick what's going on. I got my coffee. That's right. I'm a coffee drinker now since this new diet. I only drink coffee and water. Oh, I see the man in here. Real Crime of Cletus. What's up, dude? He's on. I also follow that account. Follow the Real Crime of Cletus account. I think there's going to be some new shit dropping on there soon. He was a guest on here last Thursday, and he will be back. He was fucking awesome. I'm still covering the Brian Smith trial. Do not worry. Thursday's show, I will probably be diving into that with Dan with some more updates. Yesterday they played, I believe, the video and the audio in court. Maybe just the audio. I think I was a little bit confused about that when I was reading about it earlier on the Alaska website. But today they were showing the interrogation footage. Stream went down when Jay was streaming, so I need to get the deets before we can do a live on that. So soon. Donna White, Poke Mom, I am not T-Pain, Karen B, Dizzy in the house, Holly Berry in the house. What are you doing, everybody? Hanging and banging. You know what's up. Of course, Adam hanging and banging as well. Miss Dina, Johnny Archer hanging out. Johnny Archer, love Johnny Archer. Always hanging out in the Discord. I am not T-Pain hanging out in here tonight. Catgrow, checking real quick. Just looking through. Dizzy. Hoping I'm not missing anybody. CH, what's up? What's up? Think I got everybody. Phil coming through. Tayo Toys, the main man. Fuzzy Puff. Speaking of Tayo Toys, he's actually just making this trigger in my head. It's not specifically a car, which I would love to get with him again for a future car giveaway. But we're going to be doing a definite Publicly Buzzed giveaway here soon. Keep eyes out on socials, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. What's up, Donna? Because we're going to be doing something. I'm not exactly sure what yet, but I want it to be cool. So keep an eye out on everything. You never know. It'll probably be a Feral Friday. This last Feral Friday on Kick was an absolute insane blast. Everybody that came through, again, thank you very much. I got my crochet ready for this shit. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Have you received the Murder Church beanie yet? Hopefully that's still coming. It's Tuesday, so I'm actually not expecting it yet, but it should be this week. Holly Berry, the Murder Church beanie coming your way. Gamby's in the house also. Miss Turd, Debbie Blair, still scrolling up. Still scrolling up. Thank y'all so much. Please hit the like, share this out, let people know that you're hanging out. City Kitty, hanging out here tonight with Publicly Buzzed. We're going to jump in here again with a crazy motherfucker. If anybody was here at Murder Church, you know Patricia Krenwinkel was who we were watching her parole hearing. We've also watched one of the Charles Manson parole hearings as well, but we've never watched a Charles Manson interview.
I'm telling you like it is, baby.
So we're going to jump in here, folks, real quick. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. But again, yeah, please let people know. I'll put a post out on Twitter. If you wouldn't mind to repost that, that'd be amazing. That'd help me out. And again, let's rock and roll. Thank y'all so much. Love you. Be drinking my coffee back here. Shit, before we get rocking, I am gonna go ahead and get this taken care of here. I see the beautiful Jersey Jen, one of the most amazing people that I've come to absolutely love. Whether that's through watching streams and court and trials with Jay or right here at Publicly Buzzed, she freaking rules. She comes through, and welcome to being a Publicly Buzzed member. Love versus Money 68. Let's go.
Give me the loot. Give me the loot.
Talking it up, baby. Uh-huh. You know what I'm talking about. Huh?
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Wow, wrong one.
Just chilling.
Just chilling. Hopefully everyone is just chilling as we get ready again to get into this insane interview. And yeah, folks, if you don't remember, beers in the chat. Beers in the chat. Or, you know, probably nothing. Or maybe a liquor drink. Who knows? I got some pills in there still I haven't gotten rid of. When we get some new members out here. I'll coffee drink. Poke Bomb knows. Those work as well. Hell yeah. All right, guys. We're getting in there. Love you guys. Again, Jersey Jen. Let's go. Hope you're having a great week.
So, where's the man that I was dealing with in this interview? Is it you?
Do I look like a man to you?
Well, where's the gentleman that I was communicating with in the letters?
A gentleman. I sent you a telegram. My name is Penny Daniels. I'm from Inside Story in Miami. You were dealing with...
This is Miami. They said this was France. Didn't they say this was France?
That's what they said over there, but that information must have been lost, right?
You were under the impression that this was an interview with someone from France?
Yes.
No, this is Miami. Inside Story. You were dealing with Fran Myers, Justine Schmidt, and then I sent you a telegram. My name is Penny Daniels, and this is Dale West. Why don't you have a seat, Mr. Moon?
No, we'll finish. We'll get what we're doing here. What was the letter that you got? Do I get a roll of this film?
Do you get a roll of this film, a copy of it?
No. See.
I'm sorry, I don't understand your question.
Show her real quick.
See, what I did was I got a deal with this guy from France that he gets a roll of film and I'll do the interview with him, and then he gives me a roll of the film on the side. I get to do a half hour with him, and then I get a half hour of my own.
To make any statement you want?
Yeah, to send to this address here.
That was not I'm not the person from France, and we are not the station you're talking about. However, what is the address? I might be open to talking about it too.
Yeah, in other words, like, we already made a deal between Miami and me. They said that was okay too.
That could be. I'm not aware of it. What is the address?
The address is in Hollywood.
Hollywood, California?
Yeah.
Who is the person? Nick Bougas?
Yeah.
Who is he?
It's a Frenchman.
He's a Frenchman.
You want me to give you a tape of the interview that you do here and send it to this man?
I want a half hour off of your line. In other words, we're doing this for you. Then I want a half hour here for me. Why am I doing this? I have to carry. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a person to interview. I don't like to play interviews. But I'm stuck under a game of ignorance. I'm stuck under little brain people, you dig? And I have to try to get around that the only way I can. The only time I can get unhandcuffed is when I'm here with the media. I've been 20 years in handcuffs. If that makes any sense to anybody in this world, 20 years in handcuffs, so he can play daddy. To you, I mean, get off that trip, get up off of me. And I'm serious. I said, get up off of me. You understand what I'm saying now?
I understand what you're saying, and I'd like to talk about some of these things.
Yeah.
Are you telling me, let's get this straight,
Yeah.
Are you telling me that you'll do the interview, or you...
Yeah, I'll do the interview for you, and then I get a few minutes to send it to this. No problem. No problem. I figured that, that would be worth something,
Okay.
So...
Do you want to sit down?
It's going to depend largely on what you say, Charlie, if we're going to allow it to exit the institution.
Megan, welcome in.
What do you mean? You're going to put your importance up over somebody like you're somebody? You ain't nothing but a lot, man. Shut up and keep your mouth shut. You don't run anything.
Okay, just
You don't run a damn thing. You don't run a damn thing. You understand what I'm saying to you? You don't run nothing here. Whatever he's telling you, if he's putting his importance up over you, there ain't nothing over you right now, except my old lady in Florida. My old lady's over you in Florida. And that's the only thing that's over you. You take that all the way to Regan and his horse.
Who is your old lady in Florida?
Squeaky's in Florida right now.
And
they just took her from Kentucky. She's trying to get us a trial. We didn't get a trial. We didn't get our rights. We didn't get anything. We were tried by the news media. We weren't tried by the courtroom. The courtroom the news media was selling it. It was making money. They was buying and selling it. And when it's making money, they're going to sell it. They don't care who's got to pay the price for it. But we had to pay the price for it, I didn't break no law. Everybody in the world knows that. But it seems like these people around here, they can't get in their brains that I didn't break no law.
What has Squeaky got to do with me?
Because there's only one woman, girl.
Whoa, there it was. That's all you need to hear. I paused it at the perfect time. She asked, what's Squeaky got to do with me? He says, there's only one woman, girl. There's only one woman in this world. Wow. Yeah, he's giving her a real difficult time.
There's only one woman.
What does that mean?
That's Jesus.
There's only one woman? That's Jesus.
No
Duh.
law.
What has Squeaky got to do with me?
Because there's only one woman, girl. There's only one woman.
What does that mean?
That's Jesus. You're on the cross, woman. You don't even, you people.
You don't
even
understand
know
that, then you
what
don't
you're doing,
understand
what's going on in
shit.
the world.
You're saying there's one woman. Is there one man?
Man died in the wars. Arlington Cemetery's got all the men. 2,000 years, the man's been dying. It's all a reflection of Mother. Yeah. Unless you go to Lebanon somewhere.
I need to put a mic on you. Is that okay?
Unless you go to Lebanon or go to Robiscan or go out in the jungle, you might
Mike and
find
this son
one,
of a bitch up
but
here.
I don't think
As you can see, very difficult human being. Again, who's a raise of hands by ones in the chat? Whose first time is it seeing a Charles Manson interview, period? Holly Berry came through this son of a bitch, giving out memberships, just passing them out. As soon as she came through the door, she was in the club bouncing around. She was like, yo, I'm going to start passing these sons of bitches out. Megan Easteen, Ned Smith, Alley Cat, Janice Smith, and Julie Martin, all welcome to being Publicly Buzzed members. I can't believe it. Love it, love it, love it. One cool thing that I'm going to start doing here soon, especially, well, it's actually going to be, it can only be for Patreon. So what we originally started doing here, Publicly Buzzed, with, you know, you can see some of those on the memberships. You can see those on Patreon. The Curse of Bigfoot, right? Doing some of the movies. I've got so many movies, you know, and this would only be anybody that tickles their fancy for, but I'm going to start maybe doing some commentary over top of some of these absolutely insane, ridiculous B movies that I have. And I mean, they're ridiculous. And maybe get Dan involved in some of those, and probably all of them, honestly, if he wants to. And maybe Jay on a couple of those. That would be cool. If I can talk him into it. But yeah, I have a lot of really shitty B movies. I thought that'd be really cool. Holly Berry, thank you very much. You're absolutely unbelievable. This son of a bitch is currently getting mic'd up and, again, gonna raise some more hell. Poor Penny.
I think you're going to find one not out in this madness. You know, they're all working for you. She knows that. You know. Sure she does. Sure she knows it. She knows there's only one. It's got nothing to do with me personally. When I got out of jail last time, she come up and she said, can I hang around you? I told her, no way. She says, why? I said, every time I let you end up in jail, put you back in jail.
This was in 67?
Yeah, this was in 67.
You knew her before then?
I knew her in dreams. Her daddy's a rocket scientist. He makes rockets and Boeing aircraft. And I met her on a street corner. She didn't have no place to stay. Her parents kicked her out, you know. And I knew what her heart was and where she was running and what she was doing, because that's an old garbage can.
Also, I was about to say that, Karen B. 5'2", right? He walks in this room. The female reporter that's interviewing, I'm sure, is taller than him. She's probably in high heels also, even if she's a little bit short. He's a short motherfucker, right? He's probably at all times intimidated.
Before. So I told her, no way. And she said, I won't put you back in jail.
It's probably
if you don't break the law. If you break the law, you put yourself back in jail. And that's true, you know. So I said, all right. So I said, you give me your word as your bond, and your bond is your life? And she said, yeah, I give you my word, you know. I said, okay. So she hung around for a while. And the reason that there was a lot of girls around that place is because I play music. And I play pretty good music.
Do you play music now?
No, these jealous snake that's on top of me are lacking in manhood. So they don't want nobody like me to live. They do their damnedest to kill me every day they get the chance, you know.
You're not allowed a guitar then?
No, I'm not allowed anything.
Do you miss the music?
Yeah, that's what I live for, music, yeah.
How long has it been since you played?
Quite a while. They let me touch it every once in a while, but they don't want me to play. It's like everybody wants the attention. I don't want the attention. I just like to play music.
Why are you doing this interview, Charlie?
Because I can get another roll of film and send it down to Bogus, and I owe him a little something.
Is that the only reason?
And that my old lady's in Miami, that she's in Florida.
What has that got to do with it? What has she been...
She'll see this, and she'll know that I'm still where I'm at in relation to here.
You call Squeaky your old lady. Does that mean you have a romantic relationship with her?
No, I don't play all that, you know, she's just a friend. What you would call a friend. She does what she wants. I do what I want. She's just a person. They say that
nothing is truer than with Charles Manson on that front, Adam, for sure. Presence does not always equate to physical size. I don't know if anything is truer than you come with Charles Manson on that, honestly, because his personality is so much larger than life. Like this insane facade that he's created that he carried to death.
He's a leader in a family of people, which is bull.
It still haunts this planet. Jesus.
I have a lot of friends because I play a lot of music. A lot of people like my music. And we were all friends. There was no such thing as follower, leader. There was no leaders or followers. There was just people, intellect, intelligence. There were people, intelligent life forms. And there was a bunch of kids who were working out their problems for that particular time in that particular space. and each had to do what they felt they had to do for the problems that they were working on, which really had nothing basically to do with me. I'm not of the 60s. I'm not a generation of the 60s. The 60s were little kids to me. The Beatles were like punk rock is to you. That's what the Beatles was to me. They, you know, that's not my era. My era was Bing Crosby. I'm 53 years old. I'm not a teeny bopper. But all the kids, they would come to me and say, we got no place to go. And I'd say, well, I got no place to go. You know, so they were throwaway kids, and I was a throwaway kid.
Tell me a little bit about your background. Tell me, if you could describe your childhood in a couple of sentences, how would you describe it?
I didn't have a childhood.
Tell me a little bit more. Tell me more.
I went to a reform school in '43, and I've been fighting ever since.
Was it as bad as you describe in the book that was co-authored by Newell Emmons?
That wasn't my book.
That wasn't your book?
No.
But what about the parts describing your childhood and your experiences in reform school?
That was him writing a book.
So
that had anything to do
the
with
part
me.
about that school in Indiana, that's not true, how you were treated?
Bits and parts of it are true, and bits and parts of it aren't.
Give me a hint.
He gets little information from other people, and anybody that wants to tell him something, and what he wants to believe, and what he feels will sell to the public, then that's what they'll write.
Okay, well, let's not talk specifically about that book then. Tell me how you would describe how bad it was for you in these reform schools.
A child don't know what bad is.
Well, he says in the book that you were raped, that you were beaten constantly.
Come on, man.
That's not true.
That's what he would like to believe, but
So-
ain't nobody can do that.
So you didn't have a lousy childhood then?
Yeah, I had a terrible childhood, but I'm from here.
In other words, it didn't get to you?
No, I've never sold out. They've never beat me. I haven't been beaten.
Tell me about your terrible childhood.
The child doesn't know what terrible is.
You don't want to talk about it, I take
I'm
it.
telling you, a child doesn't know what terrible is.
Give me
What
a little
is terrible,
bit.
man?
Give me a little description of it.
What is terrible? You know, terrible. What does that mean, terrible?
I don't know. You used the word, so I'm trying to get you to
No, I
describe
didn't.
it to
He
me.
used the word in his book. I didn't. I'm not a sniveler. I don't cry. I don't snivel. I don't look for excuses to get off on other things. You know, I accept my position and I hold it.
Let me ask you something. How do you spend your days now, since you're not allowed to play music? How do you spend your time in jail?
Setting.
Just sitting?
Mm-hmm.
Do you do anything else? Do you read?
No.
Do you walk?
No.
At one point, I read somewhere that you were making dolls. Is that
I do.
true?
I make little dolls, yeah.
Tell me about that.
I just started taking string and making little dolls and bugs and spiders and little, it's a new art form. I created a new...
Tattoo. Slightly off center every day you wake up, you're looking in the mirror. Son of a bitch. You know, he did that to himself, though. I mean, during the whole original court and trial. So, I mean, he showed up to court the next day randomly. And now, but I mean, it's like he's... Oh, God.
new art form.
He's something else.
Anything else like that? Any other
He
things
lived a
that you do
life.
in jail?
That's for sure.
Yeah. I
Oh,
run
wow.
an underworld.
You run an underworld in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that.
You don't see it? I fly birds. I look out for wildlife. I'm trying to redeem my trees. I have an organization called ATWA rolling now, trying to redeem life on the planet Earth from the people that destroy it.
Tell me more about that. Who's destroying the earth and why?
The things that we do as human beings that are accepted and called right 100 years ago have changed. Years ago we could cut down trees and we could afford an exuberant lifestyle. We can't afford that no more. We're running out of atmosphere. We're running out of water. Our water's becoming so poisoned and so polluted, we're not going to be able to drink it.
Uh-oh.
The trees are being cut down so fast, lumber companies are just... The United States is owned by foreign corporations. Nixon opened it up for foreign trade. And when Nixon opened up for foreign trade, the people of Europe and the common market and Spain and different places, they don't care about the United States forest. And in short, the United States has been sold out by people who really don't care for anything but money. I've had all the money in the world 3 times. I had to give it back to keep the game going.
What game?
The game. It's a game. Money is a game. It's only real to the people who work for it. The people that don't need to work for money, it's a monopoly game. It's a game of paper. It's all on paper. I've got a production company, and I've got a recording company, and I've got a mansion in Beverly Hills, and I've got Rolls Royces and Ferraris. I've got everything money can buy, but it's all on paper. Everything's done through the companies and through the tax loopholes, and the people that live on that level, they don't care about the average honest mule that just goes back and forwards to work. They don't care about the children that are in the streets that are thrown out of this upper echelon of existence. And then when all the children fall down into me, on my level, I pretty much identify with them because I was a throwaway also. So it goes to the point of, do you really care?
When you said...
And who does care? And if anybody cares, they're considered crazy. I've been 15 years in the nut ward for trying to stop the trees from being cut down, from trying to rearrange a lifestyle of a bunch of people who don't want to change. But they're going to change because the cold wind is blowing. You're going to change or there's going to be no life left on the planet Earth. And then there's a bunch of little people that are always trying to play act some sort of importance over the truth about what is rolling on the planet Earth now.
Did you get him? Yeah, please.
Or she might use for me. Or we might use for another one of the friends. And I say old lady.
Let's get back to that talk about God for a minute. Tell me once again, I don't know if we got that. What you were talking about being God's messenger.
Yo, Sweaty's in the house. What's up, dude? What's happening, brother?
Tell me that again.
Life is God. All life. Bugs, birds, trees, everything that's alive is God. The sun is God. But we've got God over here on a cross. We've got a dying man over here on a cross, and we're all kneeling down hoping that if we die, there's a better place somewhere else. Well, you got a whole bunch of people hoping that they die creates a hell of a big energy. And I call it a death wish. It's mother's death wish. It's what everybody's going towards dying, like the Vietnam War when they wanted to blow the world up.
And what have you got to do with God once again?
I'm just a messenger of the truth.
God's messenger?
Life's messenger. We use the word God. The God hooks all the other words up. I'm the Pope. I'm 10 times the Pope. I'm 50 times the Pope. But I'm the Pope in the hills and in the mountains. I'm already out of here. This enclosure here, I'm out of here. My body's stuck here, but my thought is already gone.
When you told me you ran an underworld, is that a joke?
No. No, why would it be a joke?
It's not a joke.
No, when your word is good, it's good.
What do you mean by that?
When your word is good, it's good.
What do you mean by that you run an underworld? What do you mean by that?
A little kid came to me a long time ago in McNeil Island, and he said, "Would you teach me how to speak English?" I said, "No, I won't teach you how to speak English. You're too stupid." He said, "I'm not stupid." I said, "Come on, let's go play some handball." So I taught him how to play handball, and I taught him how to speak English, and I taught him how to tell the truth. He lives in Peru.
What has that got to do with running an underworld?
All I got to do is tell him anything I want him to know, and he knows I don't lie to him.
Is that what you did with your so-called followers?
No. No. Yes, in a proportion, yeah. Sure. But I didn't break will. I didn't break the will.
Are you saying that they didn't do anything they didn't want to do?
That's it. That's it. In other words, if I'm with you, whatever you do is your business. I tell you, if you drink out of that cup, you're going to get so-and-so, and you say, well, roo-roo, and I say, well, that's up to you, if that's what you want. If you go ahead and do it, I mean, that's you. I don't break your will.
What did your followers do?
I didn't have any followers. I had some friends.
What did your friends do?
They did whatever they had to do.
And what was that?
Whatever that was.
Did any of your friends kill people?
Sure.
Who did they kill?
They killed lots of people.
Did they kill Sharon Tate and the people that night?
I imagine so. If they said they did, they did.
Did you tell them to?
No.
Let's talk about something else for a minute. Do you ever have any contact with your children? You fathered at least 3 children, right?
I've got a whole lot of children.
Do you have any contact with them?
I got prisons full of children.
Real.
That's a great quote. That's a creepy quote right there. Did you guys hear that?
Children.
Prisons full of
3 children.
No.
Let's talk about something else for a minute.
Listen to this.
Do you ever have any contact with your children? You fathered at least 3 children, right?
I've got a whole lot of children.
Do you have any contact with them?
I got prisons full of children.
What a crazy quote.
Real children.
I'm talking about real ones. They're as real as you can get.
Children that you fathered, you have prisons full of
Every
them.
child of God is a friend of mine.
Charlie, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about, do I have any ego children?
Biological
If you and I
children.
have a child and you take the child off and you raise him to be like you, he's not like me. He's like you.
Are you in contact with any of your
I'm not in
biological
contact
children?
with anyone.
Squeaky farm.
I'm in contact with everyone.
Are you ever in contact with your mother, your biological mother?
I am my mother.
Are you ever in contact with any other members of the so-called Manson family, your friends?
The Manson Family was a music group. The music group I had was called the Family Jams. And all the girls sang in the music group. And all the guys played in the music group. It had nothing to do with a cult. It was a music group.
Whatever happened to those people? Are you in contact with them?
Sure, they're all doing fine. We're all doing the same as we was doing before. You can never split us apart because we were never together. We were together in soul. We were together in truth. And every
And he's
one of them
done with
knows
it.
I've never lied to them. I've never lied to anyone about them or around them. They've never seen me in a lie.
Do you ever get letters from people?
Yeah.
Tell me about some of the letters you get from people.
I get all kinds of letters from all kinds of people, all kinds of kids, all kinds of people that are lost, people that are needy.
Do you write them back?
Sometimes, occasionally.
What do you tell them?
Hello, hi, how are you?
Do you give them advice?
Advice. It's within.
Do you give them advice?
If that's advice, it's within you.
That's the advice you give. It's within you.
Whatever advice is,
Do you get visits? Do you get visitors?
No.
Never, you're not allowed visitors?
I've got a lot of people standing on me trying to play important. And each one of them takes a little bit until finally I've got nothing left. And I sit in the cell, and then this dummy wants to come and he wants to get his little bit. And this guy, he wants his little bit. And everybody's got their little bit, you dig? And then I'm stuck up underneath. I can't do anything because everybody else is living my life. They're representing me. If all the people that were representing me that quacked in one direction, if they turned around and bowed in the other direction, I'd have every head bowed. Because they're doing nothing but representing me. Reagan's court was representing me. The court that I was in was Reagan's court, was his appointee. He was representing me. Everybody's been representing me.
Let me ask you another way. I've heard that you get a lot of letters and have in the past gotten a lot of visits from kids. Just kids that you don't know. Is that true?
I am kids.
Have you gotten these kinds of visits and letters from kids that you don't know?
Sure.
Why do you think these kids write you?
Because I am those kids.
What is it about you that they...
I am a child. I never grew up. I never lived in your society. I never went to school. I never had a mother and father. I raised myself up.
What do you think it is about you that makes people want to be a part of whatever it is you're a part of?
I'm brand new. Everything I do is always brand new.
This place is dead anyway, man.
Of reality. I walk a real road.
Hold up! Hold up! Hold up!
Makes people want to be a part of whatever it is you're a part of.
I'm brand new.
I'm brand new.
Everything I do is always brand new. I'm on
This
the
place is dead anyway, man.
I walk a real road. I'm a real person inside. I'm not a phony. I don't put on no airs. I say what I think. You see what I'm saying?
Aren't you putting on an air now? Aren't you putting on an act for me?
When you look it back, see if it's an air. See if where you get it. And someone sees it and goes by and they say, hey, how you doing? I say, pretty good. How you be? Where does it come from? Where does the energy and power come from? Who recharges your battery? You know what I'm talking about.
Isn't this an act
You
right
know what
now?
I'm talking
What
about.
isn't an act?
You know what I'm talking about, baby.
What isn't an act?
So
Look
you
at
put
yourself.
on act.
Are you an act?
Sure, so are you.
All right, then.
So we're all an act,
Well,
right?
what isn't? The only thing that isn't an act is when someone gets killed. And then it isn't an act because people's fear sees it as being real. So the only thing people see as real is fear. So if the people in the underworld are knocking people down in the streets and breaking their jaws, maybe it's the people in the underworld that want you to see that I am very real and I am on this planet Earth.
Yes, I am.
And I am moving for ATWA, my air, my water, my trees, and my wildlife, in every way I know how, in every way I can.
Does the end justify the means?
End?
Yo,
there is no end.
Lily.
There is no
What's up?
beginning.
I think I missed Lily coming in.
Not
here.
in ATWA. There's only redeeming life upon
I
the
bet he hopes that she would have got scared, and I bet she didn't. I bet she stood there stone-faced like, bitch, come on. What are we going to do? What are you going to do?
planet Earth.
Does that goal justify any means?
I don't justify or not justify. I lay it out there. What people do with it's their business. If they decide to run up and kill Sharon Tate, that's on them. Had you let us put on a defense, we could have explained to you why it happened.
Why did it happen?
All right. You take 20 years, 250 district attorneys, 5,000 policemen, everything the news media has got. You put it on one person. Explain it away. How can I explain away all the misconcepts in 2 or 3 minutes or 5, 10 minutes? Give me a trial in a courtroom. Give me my rights in a courtroom. And then I'll explain it. I can't explain it just in a few words or in a letter or in a postcard. It's too vast. It's too big. It's circled the world 3 times.
What are you asking for, a new trial?
I'm new. I haven't got the first one yet.
You're asking for a trial.
Just a trial. Just give me my rights. All I want is the same rights that my fathers died for. The same rights that says United States of America. I see Reagan getting up in the United Nations telling the world how human rights are so important and how we should give all the humans rights. And then he turned around and asked him on the darker side, what about Charlie? And say, oh, well, he don't deserve no rights. Well, if I don't deserve no rights, then who does deserve rights? I didn't break no law.
Right now you're coming up for parole. You have the right to come up before a parole board. Do you want to get out on parole?
Parole for what? Parole to where? I want my rights. My rights, you give me a parole every other day, it doesn't give me my rights. If I don't have any rights, he doesn't have any rights. He doesn't have any rights, and you don't have any rights.
I think I know what you're saying.
Yeah, in other words, if everybody gets equal rights, you got equal rights to the rights I got. And that's to sit down and keep your mouth shut or get your jaw broke. Is that the rights you want?
Do you want to get out of jail?
Out of jail? I've been out of jail since '67. I got out of prison in 1967.
Would you like to get out of prison?
I'd like to get my guitar, and I'd like to see my friends.
What would you do if you got out of prison?
Depends on what level I got on.
It's actually scary as fuck to think about.
What would you do if you got out of prison on parole?
On parole, I don't know whether I would accept a parole. Because if I accept a parole, then I have to accept a whole bunch of little people play act importance with my life. I'm tired of other people running my life.
Are you saying that you don't want to accept guilt?
Guilt? What the hell is that? I can do anything I want, woman.
What would you do if you got out of prison?
I'm out of prison. I get out every day. I get out in these guys every day. I get out all over. I'm everywhere. I know you're going to lock everywhere up. I'm everywhere, man. I'm all things. How you going to lock that up?
How do you feel about blacks?
Blacks are all right.
How do you feel about Jews?
Jews are all right.
How do you feel about women?
Women, okay.
Why do you wear the sign of the American Nazi?
Everything you just said's a lie. All of it.
I'm all things. How you going to lock that up?
How do you feel about blacks?
Blacks are all right.
Absolute fucking racist piece of shit. Let's not beat around the bush. What was the murders in '69 actually about? Basically, he was trying to start a fucking race war, blame it on the Black Panthers, blame the actual murders on the Black Panthers, and hoping to incite a race war where he would, and the family would, again, disappear and be the ones that rise up as everyone kills each other. Racist as fuck. Don't let no.
How do you feel about Jews?
Jews are all right.
How do you feel about women?
I don't know how he feels directly about Jews, but I'm sure, again, it goes right in back into being a fucking racist.
Women, okay.
And I know that he hates women. We've seen exactly how he treated this lady as soon as he came through the fucking door. Okay? And we know the stories about what happened, from actual members within the family. I mean, getting them high as fuck on LSD and having orgies. And again, you get these girls, and there was guys there as well. Tex Watson, of course, being a major part of it, but there were other guys there as well, Clem. But you get these girls in this situation, underage girls even, at this early, if not underage, really young, coming to California, coming to San Francisco, running away from their family, having no money. Once they get there, they meet this guy, or they meet some of these other girls. He would send other ladies from the family out to pick up some of these girls. You get them back to the Spawn Ranch, and then what? You're getting them laced up with LSD, and then you tell them that you love them, that the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, and they're not coming from this, right? And all they're seeing at this time on TV is the hippie movement. This is what they wanted to be a part of. This is that, right? This is true love and beauty, being with oneself. Yada yada. All of a sudden, maybe you guys could do a little bit of this and that for me. Okay, turn to violence real quick with Charles Manson. Charles Manson was in institutions his entire life. He was born into a shitty family. His mother sold him for booze when he was a fucking child. Ended up in the system his literal whole fucking life. There's a lot of other twists and turns we could go down that don't make no fucking sense with him, honestly, when you get into the 60s. But it's fucking wild.
Why do you wear the sign of the American Nazi Party?
That's my Nazi party. That's me.
What does it mean?
It means I've been locked up in here since 1943. That I'm standing behind the judges in Nuremberg.
I think I need a little more explanation than that.
There's a line that the judge sets on. There's a premise of crime that the Supreme Court sets on, that the government and the crosses set on. I have been behind the judge since 1943. In the infinite consciousness of those black robes, I have been on the dark side of the world you people live in for 43 years, for a little over 43 years. juvenile halls, Cook County Jail, Chicago, Indianapolis, D.C., Virginia. I did a lot of time in Virginia, all over the country. I've been in and out of jails. I have nothing against no one unless they got something against me. You come up and say hi, I say hi. You say I like you, I say well I like you. You say well I don't like you, I say well I don't like you. In other words, however you reflect to me is what I'm going to reflect back to you. I don't care what color you are, where you're from, or what you're doing, what race you are. I am me first, and that is Scotch. I'm from Scotland first. That's me. And I look out for that, number one, me. Just like everybody else does.
Charlie, do you resent the fact that you've been in jail practically
the comparison to Kanye is pretty good, honestly.
Life? And if so, why did you continue to
dude.
do things that put you in jail?
Split the question, ask one at a time. I can't answer two questions.
Do you resent the fact that you've been
I'm not that smart.
in jail practically all of your life?
No, I don't know what resent is. That's a waste of mental energy. It's a waste of time.
Do you feel it's wrong?
Right or wrong, I don't judge. That's what they got guys in robes for. They judge.
Well, I guess then I can't really ask the second part of the question.
Well, what's the second part of the question?
Well, the second part of the question is, if you resent it, then why did you keep doing things to get back into jail? Why did you do so many things to get yourself thrown in jail? You seemed to like it when you were out, according to what I read.
Well, because I'm stupid. I really am stupid. I'm smart in some things, but other things I'm dumb in, you know. Probably if you notice, people that tell the truth generally act like they're kind of retarded.
You said it, buddy.
Mentally retarded people I can communicate with real good. And decent dumb people, man, we talk like crazy, you know. In other words, I'm all right with those. And kids I'm okay with. But when you get grown up, then there's a lot of problems. I don't get along too good with grown-ups. And they get me in trouble. People get me in trouble because I don't have the mental capacity to adjust to the outside. And when I get out there, I'm like a little kid. I'm like a little baby in a lot of respects, you know. That's why Squeaky has fought so hard to get me out, because she knows I didn't break the law. She knows I was used by a lot of different people doing a lot of different things, and that I didn't break the law.
What would you do if you got out of prison?
What would I do? Probably play some music, hit my guitar, and go back out in the desert. I got some trees. I was planting some trees. I got some trees. I did a crazy thing. I planted some fig trees, and I didn't know fig trees take 2 trees. Did you know that? That there's male and female trees? I didn't know that. I was planting fig trees, and every water hole I go would plant 1 tree. And I figured 1 fig tree at this water hole would be just right for the water hole. But then I come to the gym, I looked in the book and find out, man, you got to have 2 fig trees to have fruit. So I got a whole bunch of water holes out there with 1 fig tree planted. So I wanted to get back out and put the...
Man, I can talk to dumb people real well. Me and dumb people, we get along because I can manipulate the fuck out of them. Jesus Christ, I gotta go take a piss. I'll be right back.
Plant the other side of that. Put the other trees out. I like working in the dirt. I like farm work.
Coffee goes through you now.
Growing things. I like growing things. Gardens and things like that. I like earth things. Earth things I like. I'd probably get back down on the ground, walk around. Just walk around, do the things that everybody does. Nothing. Just sit around under a tree. Probably do not much. Not much.
How would you support yourself?
Support myself? See, in other words, like, your lifestyle has got you thinking crazy. You know. You support yourself. I got figs over here. I got raisins over there. I got pine nuts over there. I got pockets full of everything you can eat, you know. I got all I can eat, and where I'm laying down is where I'm sleeping. So, I mean, I support myself. How does a deer support itself?
Every time they've let you out of prison before, you've turned to stealing.
Oh, now I'm stealing. You got me in for stealing. I thought I was in here for something else. I didn't know I was in here for stealing. You got me stealing, too? How do you put everything else on me at least 3 times? What did I steal?
Have you never stolen anything?
Sure, I stole a whole lot when I was a kid and thought that was cool. I thought that was cool when I was a youngster. I live by the code of the outlaw. I give everything I got and take anything I want.
Do you think you've changed?
No, got a little older probably. Changed? I don't know, changed. You know. how does the universe change?
Don't you think people change when they get older?
When they get older? I don't know, get older. See, all those things that you got in your mind, they don't exist to me. Get older, get younger. I was born 1,000.
So you were born old and young?
Yeah, I was
at the
born.
same time.
I was born to... Don't be offended.
But?
I'm a nasty old man. And I'm mad. But I put my anger in the right direction. The direction of ATWA. For 20 years we've tried to find intelligent...
The hell did I miss? He said he's a deer? He just come right on out? I'm a deer. I'm a deer, man. You dig?
Life forms in the United States of America, but didn't seem to be any there. It was all bought and paid for. These guys that sell themselves for that paycheck, they don't exist outside that paycheck.
Why are you mad?
I'm mad at people taking my life.
Putting you in prison?
No, taking my life.
What do you mean?
Well, when you're cutting the trees down, you're taking my life. When you're polluting the water, you're taking my life.
Laughing. You do it on command?
Your justice system ain't working too cool. You know, so I imagine that there'll be another one, Phoenix in behind, doing what's right. All we're trying to...
Honestly, Karen, I can. Like, right? Like, I mean, again, a head full of acid, mescaline. Like, I mean, oh my God. Honestly, I couldn't imagine, dude. Like, the situation, the time period, the area, the connections, because he had connections. Like, don't let... Like, there's some insane documentaries out there in quotes. One of my... I mentioned this on Murder Church. You guys might have... I mean, I'm going to repeat it, but... There's a documentary that's, you know, talking about some of the weird connections he had, you know, so they would be at parties with names like the Mamas and the Papas. Neil Young is in a documentary saying that he liked Charles Manson in his music before all of this happened, that he thought that Charles Manson had a future. There's a lot of stuff that's been really blurred by, like, basically media and, like, you know, I'm a weird person. Like, I can actually see both sides. I actually, in a lot of weird ways, think that the way... the actual trial went, honestly, like, it was pretty crazy. What happened at the end is what should have happened. Charles Manson is dangerous and crazy as fuck. But, I mean, there's a lot of, like, which, I mean, you know, they got the girls to turn on him as well. At least one of the girls to turn on him. So, I mean, he was kind of fucked in that regard anyways. But Charles Manson had way too many connections for a while that a lot of people don't want to admit to now in the Hollywood area and the music scene. It's weird. A lot of weird stuff, actually. If you really, again, it's like deep dive shit. And again, I may start going a little bit more into some of this stuff. I do have a lot of weird documentaries that I've watched before. And again, you know, you guys have to watch it and you take that with a grain of salt and take it however you want, right? You watch it, you go do your own research, and you come back with what you find. But a lot of wild shit out there.
What I do is do what's right. But doing what's right
You dig?
in a world full of people that don't know what right is, it's difficult. Because you got so many interpretations and so many different people in different directions. You've got 1,000 Jesuses, you've got 1,000,000 devils, you've got 25,000 Napoleons, you got every kind of insanity going in the world coming. And ATWA. ATWA also means at war, if you put an R on the end of it.
At war with what?
Pollution. Pollution. A revolution against pollution.
So you're telling me all these people think that you hate the blacks and you hate the Jews and you kill people, and all you're really trying to do is stop pollution?
All the time, it's been the same thing. Whatever people put on me is what they're trying to play themselves on their level.
Tell me once again, I didn't quite get it, why the American Nazi Party sign on your forehead?
When those 8 people were killed in Uganda, when that plane was skyjacked, and Idi Amin was put in the position to rule Africa, I was in that episode, and that's the only way I could save my head, because there was a lot of violence, a lot of fear, a lot of bloodshed was going on in those days and times to stop the drought that was coming over there. We seen the world. Don't you remember when the Lord knows when the cold wind blows, it'll turn your head around? Well, we were all in that thought, trying to change the world, you know. And you can't say, well, the Jews are the chosen children of God, and these Germans are no good because their forefathers fought. No. The Germans are no worse than the Jews. And the blacks are no worse than the Mexicans. And the Mexicans are no worse than the Filipinos. And the Filipinos are no worse than the Chinese. So how do you reach a one with that whole circle? How do you reach a one with that whole circle? How do you have peace on this earth? You can't have peace on this earth unless you let Second World War die. You want to keep the Second World War going? You want to keep selling and buying Germans and dead Indians on TV every day? You know, that's got to stop. The Second World War's got to stop. And it's got to stop in the Jews. The Jews won't let the Second World War stop. They keep the Second World War going. They keep it going. They keep it going. They keep perpetuating it because they're making money. As soon as the Second World War was over, they never stopped the brainwash. The brainwash that they were selling the American public was making money. You see what I'm saying? They were making money. They're not going to stop making money. If the combination's there to make money, they're going to keep selling it. They'll sell it all the way till I'm in the cell with a guy named Millman.
That's the best word. Kooky. He's kooky.
Jerry Millman.
What's up, Kimberly?
And he's got pictures of Hitler and Japanese and things all that. I said, boy, Hitler must have been a hell of a guy. He said, Hitler was terrible. I hate him. I said, why do you hate him? He said, I'm a Jew. I said, well, why do you enshrine this guy? Is he your daddy? And he looked up to his mother's fear. And his mother's fear was Hitler. Hitler was like his father figure. He loved Hitler, but he hated Hitler. He needed Hitler to hold him up, because Hitler was holding his hate up, because without his hate, he didn't exist. He didn't have no reason to live unless he had some hate. He didn't have any reason to buy and sell unless the money held him up. If you took the money away from him, you took the hate away from him, he'd be gone. So how do you communicate to a whole group of people? You stand up and you take the worst fear symbol there is and say, there, now I've got your fear. Now I've got your fear. And your fear is your power, and your power is your control. I'm your king of this whole planet. I'm going to rule this whole world through ATWA. I want my trees put back. I want my water clean. I want my atmosphere cleaned up. What you do beyond that, I don't care what church you go to or what race you are, what color you are, what and all that nickel and dime personal important trash head stuff. I don't care about that. All I care about is my air, my water, my trees, and my wildlife. And you humans, if you don't get in line with that, goodbye. Because I got biology, and I got chemistry, and I got...
Today, class, your chemistry class is going to be taught by Mr. Manson. Everyone get up and welcome Mr. Manson to the class.
Things beyond the nuclear mine. I won't blow it up. I checkmated that. I got all the bombs over here in the corner. I said, no, I'm not blowing it up. Now the next step of dealing with you suicidal maniacs that won't get up off my life, my air, my water, my trees, my wildlife, my fish. You see, I live on the earth. God gave me a life on that earth, and I live there. And everybody that's taken my life off the earth is taking yours off the earth also. It's taking because you don't have any more right than I do. I don't care whether you're black, whether you're green. If I don't have any rights, then you don't have any rights. And what you do to me will be done to you.
Charlie, people have said that you have powers, that you can make people do what you want them to do.
Well, sure. Sure.
That's true?
Why, certainly.
How so?
By making them do what I want them to do.
How do you do it?
Like these two guys here with that stick. He has power with that stick to make me do what he tells me to do.
So what's your stick?
What's your stick?
I've been under that stick 43 years.
How do you make people do what you want them to do?
I just turn that around and give it back to you. What you put on me with that, I just take that and throw it back at you.
Are you saying that you used violence to make people do what you wanted them to do?
No, I don't.
Is that what you're saying, you son of a bitch? Because that's exactly what happened. Get him, Penny! Get in there, this dumb son of a bitch. You're way smarter than this motherfucker.
I don't deal in violence. I'm not a violent person.
How many women you hit?
My record's been...
Because you're too short, first of all, but too damn scared to stand up to a man.
On record, all my life's been on record, and I'm not violent. I learned that whatever you put out, you get back. And I don't like to be hurt, so I'm not going to hurt anyone.
All this stuff about Charles Manson, the guru, the person that people follow, is that true?
Sure.
Why? Why did they follow you?
Because I'm in the soul. I'm in the fist.
What does that mean?
The fist, the family of the infinite soul. The eyes are the windows of the soul. When I show you something once, you know it's there. You've seen it. It's in your soul. It becomes a part of you.
Do you still have people who write to you, who visit you if they can, who follow you?
The whole world's following me. There's no place else they can go.
What do you tell?
I haven't found no place to run. And I'm following the next guy in front of me. Everybody's following someone.
Do you believe that you have powers
To know more than any other man.
no more than any other man?
Oh, well, all men have powers. Some people know it, some people don't. Some people understand the power they have, and other people don't understand the power they have.
What is it about you that made all these young people come to you, that made them follow you?
The music.
Just the music.
I sing like that.
Oh, I get it. Oh, I totally get it. No, that was beautiful. That was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my life. Dear God. Nope, he's right, actually. I'm starting to see... Can I still send money to ATWA? To ATWA? Jesus, fuck. I think I'm starting to see his point here. Did you hear those vocals?
Yeah. Kind of put you on center, huh?
Well, it's loud.
Yeah, I sing loud. I sing real loud.
I
It
sing
grabs your
loud, lady.
attention.
It does. It does. It kind of reaches in there and breaks all the pattern in your brain. See, your music
breaks
is,
the pattern in your brain. Oh! Yeah, that's right. Yep, that's what lured all of them to me. 1967 is when it first started. As soon as I was released, walked outside the jail and I let out one of those, belted out a dog. It was over. It's over.
Low. And all them ooh, pop, pop, and they sing it to little girls for $1.25. I'm singing up where God rolls. I'm singing up in the top echelons of the music.
Have you always sung like that?
No. I got.
Worried about the chat. Everybody okay?
I started a
Ladies in the
rebirth
chat.
movement in '67. Everybody else stole it. Carter stole it. Everybody said, "Oh, this is us." They locked me up and say, "Oh, this is us. We represent that." You know, I'm important on that, and then they'll want to make their little decision, and then they'll say, "Let me get in there," because everybody wants in there first. You know how that goes.
Do you ever think about Sharon Tate and the people that were killed that night?
No, not that much. But everybody said, "Oh, this is us."
He got Karen, son of a bitch. He got Karen. In memory of the late and lovely Charles. Oh, God. If you clip this part of the stream perfectly, it looks terrible. It looks horrible. That's basically every episode of Publicly Buzzed.
They lock me up and say, "Oh, this is us. We represent that." You know, I'm important on that, and then they'll want to make their little decision, and then they'll say, "Let me get in there," because everybody wants in there first. You know how that goes.
Do you ever think about Sharon Tate and the people that were killed that night?
No, not that much. Why should I? A lot of people get killed. People get killed all over the world every day.
Do you feel any responsibility for what happened that night?
None.
You feel no remorse for what happened that night?
How am I going to feel remorse? What am I supposed to feel remorse about? Everyone says, "You feel no remorse." I said, "Can't you understand I'm not guilty of anything?" And they said, "Well, you're supposed to feel remorse." I'm supposed to feel remorse because you don't understand, because you're twisted in your brain. You know, in other words, someone comes in and says, "You were in New York City last night." And you said, "No, I wasn't." And they say, "Well, don't you feel bad about it?" And you say, "Feel bad about what?" Say that people that happen in New York City. Man, I wasn't in New York City. I wasn't there. I was in San Diego in bed with some broad I'd met in Big Sur. I didn't have no family. I had a motorcycle, a sleeping bag, and a guitar guy. I just got out of the penitentiary. I hadn't been out of jail long enough to they say, well, you got our kids to do this and our kids. You had your kids to do that. Your kids were doing that before I got out of the penitentiary. I just got out of jail. Can't you understand that? You know, you tell the people something and they've got their minds made up a certain way. You dig what I'm saying? And you tell them something and they just don't know. What am I supposed to feel remorse about? Do you feel remorse that every day of my life you've tormented me with these idiots that you got holding me down?
New York City! Y'all remember that commercial? What is that? New York City! He's from New York City. What the fuck?
That you beat me and knocked my jaw out. You forced me medication. You've drugged me. You've drugged me up down hallways. You hit my head on every chopping block in the state of California. You've poisoned me. You've done everything. I've puked blood for months and days, man. You've done everything you could do to get me killed, and then you turn around and ask me, do I have any remorse? If I had the right to do to you what you...
So I'm going to try to play this without getting a copyright, but it's a salsa commercial from 1997. Holy shit. I don't know what you just did to my brain, Mandy. I think it was Mandy who said that. Holy shit. I don't know if let's see what happens here. God, I just want that part.
Any more paste, thick and chunky salsa? That ain't paste.
Okay, there's the beginning. It's going to be okay.
Faded. New York City.
New York City.
Pick up the...
There it is. New York City. I think there were tons of these commercials. I'm trying not to get a copyright with that commercial. I'm sorry. Losing my brain. Manson is making me go crazy.
Been doing to me, then that gives me the right to do anything I want to anyone I want to do it to. Can you see now? Well, you better give me my rights, because as you're doing this to me, you're doing this to all these children, and they're all these cells, and they're growing up just
you guys,
like
I should have just
you're
read the
raising them
chat.
up with no rights. And even the guys in the uniforms are looking at it and saying, what am I doing this for? Why am I cheating this guy? He's got no money. Why don't I go up the hill and take the money away? You know, if you give DuPont the same right you give me, you can put DuPont in the cell and take everything he's got. Take his children, rape his women, drag him up and down the highway. Everything's okay when it comes to doing it to Charlie. And Charlie's been carrying it. And Charlie knows in the background that when the wave comes in, the wave goes out. And each time the wave comes in, the wave goes out. And you're all going to get the reflection in the mirror that you put in this child here. And it's got nothing to do with me helping you, because I'm gone from you people, man. I'm out in the desert. I'm doing what I'm doing. The only people I would be helping, I'll help Squeaky. And I put my life up to protect her, even though I know she's the devil. I'd help Blue. I'd help Green. And I'd help Yellow. And I would help all the girls that got busted with me, because they know me in the thought of this. All of the guys in my father's house, there are many mansions. If it were not true, I would not have told you so. And it's just as true then as it is true now, as it will be true forever and ever and ever. I don't care what the Christians say. Jesus Christ is a reality.
So anyway, that wasn't my question, but thanks.
Feel loyalty to certain people who you feel have stood by you.
Sure, the people that tell me the truth, I'm bound to tell them the truth back. The people that have treated me right, I am bound to treat them right back. The people that have not treated me right, the Holy Ghost will deal with that.
Why do you say Squeaky Fromm is the devil?
Because all women are. They have to be to survive.
Men aren't.
Sure, men are too. Sure, we have both. We hold both balances.
Women are worse?
I would say, yeah. I would say, well, if you get Mama Lion is very vicious. The Queen of England has never lost a war. Woman woman has the power. Woman sends these guys to work every day. Woman puts it on the road. She has the will, plus the supermarket. I have the reality of numbers.
Just the supermarket, guys. What?
And I have the fishing pole.
Okay.
I have other things.
I think I can now with them. I think I get
See,
it.
the games that you guys play with your woman and man thing, we don't play that man-woman thing. You know, you guys are all hung up in them soap operas. They're killing themselves over crazy things that really, you know, it doesn't mean anything. When you peak the peak and you touch the ultimate, then you walk with the ultimate in your soul forever, man. You know, and you can't put a personality on that. You can't say, well, I'll now pronounce you man and wife, you know, and all that thing that was somewhere else, because the rebirth movement that I started, don't go back and pick up the same old shit. Excuse my French. You don't go back and pick up the same old trash can. You start all over. And starting all over means starting all over. And when you start all over, it's a constant rebirth thing. And it's not going back to Sunday school or with Swagger or Baker or the Pope or the rope soap. That's all dead. That's all old game. That's all graveyard game. You know that Jesus was a reality. He died so I could live. I'm not going to miss out on that. I'm getting up on that train too. That doesn't mean that I live by a bunch of foolish rules, that a bunch of old people are left by old people that left by old people that... Because let me run something to you. What it took Jesus Christ 2,000 years to do, in thought, in word, in deed, you can do now with television in 2 or 3 months. You see what I'm saying? And what the Constitution and the people that founded this country in 1776 did, you know, like the government's got 9 Supreme Court justices for 20 million people in the 1800s. Man, you got 250 million people. That's like a fat woman, 500 pounds, trying to get into a size 10 dress.
You'll be rabbit.
The government's not working.
The future.
The system is not working, and they won't admit it. They think building...
Good day, mate. Did I nail it? Did I just murder that? Good day, mate. Good day, mate. Good day, mate. Farty two. No, that's not. That was right. Good day, mate. I don't know. That's close.
Building more prisons is the solution. Building more prisons just add more confusion to the problem that's already at hand. You know.
Charlie, what
and
would you
Rabbit left. And they'll never return.
do if you wanted to? Is there anything at all that you would change about your life?
Charles Manson is melting my brain, guys.
Yeah, I would have planted them other trees.
I didn't think this one through.
You know, I'm just as stupid as anybody else. I'm no smarter than anybody. I'm no better than anybody.
Boom.
But nobody's better than me either.
Fucking nailed it.
You know.
Farty.
You could ask that question to yourself.
Isn't that the Scottish? Yeah, not Scottish. They're from Australia.
I don't have any regrets.
Farty didn't help it.
I don't. You know, it's foolish to regret and think about something that...
Boom.
It doesn't change. Nothing. You know, you can't change anything anyway. I mean, how are you going to change yesterday? Yesterday's gone. You let it go, man. You don't hang on to it and drag it down the road in a sack. You know. I mean, that's part of changing the lifestyle.
What about Helter Skelter?
That's the district attorney's illusion. That's his trick. That's a reflection of his fear, his sex paranoia, all the games that... But he won that reality for you guys. When he said, I versus the people versus the people that he represented, he won Helter Skelter as a reality for those people. But that's got nothing to do with me. Helter Skelter was a nightclub in the desert. It's where I run a poker game and I shoot dice. And I make money and I ride around and do buggies. It's funny, they say, you're going to the desert. I said, I was going to the desert? I said, LA's in the middle of the desert. What's wrong with you, dummy? He said, you were going to the desert. How can I be going to where I'm in a conspiracy to go to where I'm standing? You know, it doesn't make any sense, man. I mean, it makes sense to you people. Helter Skelter is a simple, just confusion. That's been happening. Let me run something to you. You go to jail, the music's going, da-ba, da-da-da. You go to jail. It stops. And you're in jail 10 or 15 years, you get back out and the music's going da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Then you go to jail again. And everything stops. And you get back out, You go to jail again, you come back out and go, you say, wow, people are going crazy out there, man. Your minds, I don't know how your brains can keep up with all that, you know. Gee whiz, man, you know. So it's the same thing with your dancing, and you're walking back and forwards, and you're living of your every ordinary life. And I see why your children are all committing suicide and going crazy, man, because, gee, because you're running in a crazy world. You got a crazy life going on out there, you know. So you ask me if I want to get back out in that? I haven't been able to get to the penitentiary yet. I've been 18 years trying to get to jail. I was in the penitentiary, and I got out, and I come back, and I haven't been able to find the penitentiary yet. You know, the penitentiary seems to have gone. They moved it somewhere. And this is another thing. Isn't it funny why you would get Amnesty International to take millions of dollars from the United States to help prisoners out of jail in other countries when you got political prisoners right here in the United States that you're overlooking, that you won't accept? You got people all over this country that are in here for political reasons, which you want to make us criminals and crime and say we're all crooks.
They cut him off. They cut Charlie off. He was getting too real. They're like, oh, God, no. Everyone in this country that sees this interview is going to be under a spell. Thanks, everyone, so much for hanging out tonight. Wow. That one went deep. That one went super deep. I do have some cool stuff. Like, that was a really interesting one. That was cool. But I will say a couple of things. I think that with a group, they're more fun and interesting to watch, honestly, if you have a buzz. That's just being completely fucking honest, because he's out of his fucking mind. And I have a couple of, I have two things. I have a movie that I would like to show. I'm honestly questioning whether it's too much. I don't know. But there's a doc that I want to show for sure that's from 88 or 89. I'm not even going to mention it. It's interesting because it's like nothing else out there, period. Like, there's no other documentary or interview like this, period. This is basically looking at the murders from the viewpoint that Charles Manson was railroaded by the system and is innocent. It's interesting. It's a fun watch. And I'm actually getting a book soon that's on that as well. It's just, and like I told you in the chat, there's a lot of Manson followers still out there. And dude, the groups they're wild. Like the Facebook groups, there's, infiltrate these groups and you'll see some interesting conversations. It's pretty wild. But yeah, we'll probably watch some more of these, I'd imagine, down the line. But Thursday we're going to be getting back into, well, honestly, I just need to get everything ducks in a row. I want to get Dan on here and talk the Brian Smith trial that's currently still ongoing. This thing is fucking insane. And yeah, that is what's going to be going on Thursday. Everybody that hung out again, thank y'all so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Thursday night, 9 a.m. Jesus Christ, no, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Friday, probably jump on here for 30, pre-kick per usual. And then Friday, I'm going to try to show Twin Peaks episode 6. We'll see what happens. Last week got completely out of control. Anybody that has not seen what happened, there's a 1-minute video that I posted on Twitter that basically shows what was going down. A little bit of a party broke out, that's all I'm going to say. It got a little wild. Anybody that has not seen the Idaho 4 video, episode 2 from the series that I'm doing, please go check that out. I'm going to drop the link right here. I'd say the majority of you have seen it, and I do appreciate you guys that checked it out. Episode 3 is going to be coming. I'm shooting again to drop these every 2 weeks. I'm hoping I can make that happen. As Stevie Irwin knows, Stevie Irwin's new video is popping off. I'd love to see that too. The new Brian Kohberger, the prosecution of Brian Kohberger video, fucking dope. Let me get that link in here too, brother. I saw that one was doing good, man. That's dope. Hold on. I'll get that in here as I'm talking. But yeah, man. And again, one of the most anticipated trials that is coming up, again, probably will be the summer of 2025, but still unconfirmed, for Brian Kohberger. I'm going to get that link. Here we go, right here. Yeah, this video was awesome. I watched it earlier. Stevie Irwin is killing the editing game, man. Honestly, with every outing and video that he does, he's absolutely murking it right now. So But yeah, check this one out right here, folks. Give it some freaking love when you get in there. And yeah, folks. Well, still hanging out in here. Again, keep your eyes out on socials for a giveaway of some sort. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be, but I want it to be something good. So keep your eyes out for that. You know, when we do giveaways, it's usually something fun. So happy Valentine's Day. Shit. Yeah, I had a Valentine's Day dinner tonight. We went out. I had some steak. I had a salad. First time, you know, I'm being so good with the diet right now. Like, it's crazy. Like, I've had this debate before. If it's a good steak, you don't need A1 sauce. I get that. I know that. But I like the taste of A1 sauce. Tonight, I did not really go down that avenue at all. The meat was fucking, also it was cooked well. That is very important. This conversation would kill Jay, but yeah, it was good. It was good Valentine's Day dinner. Happy Valentine's Day to you guys and your significant others. Love you, Kaylin. Absolutely love you, Poke Mom. Everybody coming through here. Oh shit, another hearing for Koberger the 28th, says CH. Oh, thank you, Jersey Jen. Love you so much. Thank you so much for coming through here. That gifted sub, amazing, man. You guys rule. And anybody that is maybe just lurking in the background, make sure that you have memberships turned on, because we have some really, really nice folks here in the chat that give them out all the time, and that's true from over here, over on Jay's channel, Bob's channel, Joe's channel, the whole crew, Shannon's channel, Stevie's channel, keeping it real, y'all. All right, guys. Yeah, don't dream too hard about Charles Manson, and don't join any cults. Don't join any cults. You know what I love? Free thinking. You know, we're all free thinkers here, so I don't really have that fear. But you can see how easy it happens. I mean, it happens to smart folks too, so I don't know. Let's get the hell out of here. I will see everyone Thursday night, 9 a.m. with Dan. Let's go. Boom.
Despised.